What if I told you that once upon a time there was a massively multiplayer game that allowed users to create, share, and play games developed by other users, empowering these users to use their imagination in any way they see fit, even if it is just to customize their character. You said that's just Roblox?
Boy, you don't get.
Well, the true game in question is LittleBigPlanet. And boy, do I miss this game. Whether it's because of the immersive story, the amount of creative freedom they give you, or simply just slapping the shit out of your friends for no reason. This game was a true masterpiece. Today, we are going to be exploring the rise and the unfortunate fall of this masterpiece of a game. So strap in, get ready. Let's lock in. Much like any story, it's always best to hear it from the author itself. So today, I got Mark Healy for No, I didn't. Why would you even believe me for a second? We don't have that kind of motion yet. But like most good stories, you must start from the very beginning. And our story starts in the wonderful year of 2008.
Hey.
Iron Man came out. The Dark Knight came out. There was financial turmoil, but most importantly, we got LittleBigPlanet. It really all started when Media Molecule dared to be different. What if there was a Mario game, but he was black? Burlap, that's the word. And you make the level and the story and your own janky boss fights. And from it, we got LittleBigPlanet, a platformer, a community builder, a physics simulator, and overall, a fever dream. A fever dream where you run around as your own sack boy that you can customize however you see fit. It was excellent. It was great. I don't know why so many games are afraid of custom characters now, but hey. The world itself was just so ambient. It was made of scrapbook materials and supplies, which just added to the originality and flair that the game already had. It was truly beautiful. And the OST was also excellent. I told you, them hoes is fire. Why would I lie on this channel? You can't even name one time I've ever lied. Oh, you say you're new? Shit, sub up. Would you believe me if I told you this was only the beginning? Well, yeah, because I said this was the beginning. But now we are going to venture into the golden age. LittleBigPlanet 2. After seeing the success of the first LittleBigPlanet, Media Molecule was very quick to come out with LittleBigPlanet 2. Because some franchises actually know when to make a sequel. Yes, I'm looking at you, Wally. The essential thought process was, oh, you liked our platformer game? How about we let you code an entire video game inside of our video game? That sounds cool, right? And that was a smash hit. It was almost like Minecraft, for kids that are a little further down on the spectrum. That one spectrum. I mean, the possibilities were literally endless. They had an Uno game, a Jurassic Park fan game, and a ton of other smaller games. They also had like anime dating RPG sims, but we don't really talk about those.
Day that he will love me.
Anyways, point being, everything worked perfectly. Kinda. It was easily the best game in the franchise, at least. If you could tolerate the lag and the occasional physics blocks, messing up, and now you get stuck inside of like a sponge block for the entire time you're in that lobby, it was great. We all loved it. And LittleBigPlanet 2 had a community like no other game. I mean, there were just multiple levels where you could just pick from community created outfits of just standout, recognizable faces. I think I personally had a Jiraiya avatar when I played, and I switched to a sticky note, but it was fire. Like, you can see the involvement, you can see everybody using their imaginative muscles. Millions of user levels, tons of user movies that I was showing you guys earlier, musical numbers, and tutorials that were 90% trial and 10% error. It was chaos. Good chaos, it was nice. unfortunately, like all good things, they must eventually come to an end. LittleBigPlanet 3 dropped in 2014, not too far removed from the new release of the PlayStation 4. And on paper, everything looked great. There were new characters being introduced, better tools to make better games, better graphics, and supposedly better optimization, once again because of the new console. I vividly remember seeing this trailer that's playing on the screen and being so hyped that I asked my mom for the game for Christmas, and boy, was I disappointed. When I finally got my hands on the game, I was just met with a flurry of bugs and glitches. And naturally, I went on YouTube to see if this was just something I was experiencing, just to see that this was just a regular thing. It's almost reminiscent of like how games release nowadays. Like they were almost the blueprint in a way, you know, like the 2Ks, the Cyberpunks, whatever that shitty ass GTA clone was called. Levels would just disappear for no reason. I remember that was a problem I had a lot. It was annoying, bro. A glaring difference that my 8-year-old mind didn't know at the time was that this game was developed by Sumo Digital, not Media Molecule, who had moved on to Dreams, which is a different game. I've never heard of it, you probably haven't heard of it. And it was essentially LittleBigPlanet but more independent. LittleBigPlanet 3 tried to juggle 3 new characters, as I said earlier, Toggle, Oddsock, and Swoop, on top of your Sackboy, but ended up just dropping them eventually for whatever reason. That was kind of messy. Most players just ignored them anyways, myself included, and stuck with the Sackboy because it was simpler. The community tools got super confusing. A lot of legacy levels from previous games broke because this game was super buggy, like I said. It wasn't like overly terrible, it just wasn't LittleBigPlanet 2. Eventually, a lot of these bugs and glitches got fixed, you know, naturally, but there's so much strife and division that eventually things kind of just died out. And that kind of loops us back now to present day. You know, we got Sackboy: A Big Adventure in 2020. It was cool, had solid platforming. I didn't really play it, but it had no creation tools. What was the point? It's not really LittleBigPlanet without the creation tools. That was like the main appeal to me, at least. Meanwhile, Dreams and Media Molecule had people making photorealistic dogs for whatever reason, which is like, it's cool, I guess, but it just never really got the love or traction that LittleBigPlanet did. Hence why I'm just now learning about this game years later. But hey man, LittleBigPlanet wasn't just a game to me. It was a vibe. It was a huge key into my childhood. It was YouTube machinimas made with cardboard props. It was friends sabotaging and slapping each other mid-game. And it was kids making very weird romance movies. LittleBigPlanet gave the tools to a new generation of game designers and people to just get creative and flex their imaginative muscles. It inspired game designers and weirdos alike, but still mostly game designers. So it was more good than bad. You know, maybe LittleBigPlanet will make a comeback. I'm really hoping it doesn't. Some things just need to stay in the past because it didn't exactly age like fine wine, but it was a game and an experience. You just had to be there. You know, you just had to be there. But with that being said, if you like the video, sub up. We just hit 1,000 subs and I love each and every single one of you. Like seriously, like this is very fun. I enjoy doing this. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.